I don't want to quit. I feel like this is it. For me to have this much, I feel like this is sick. This is not a game, it's fame. In real life, this is sick. I never dreamt I'd get to the level that I'm at. This is whack. This is more than I ever could have asked. Everywhere I go, a hat, a sweater, hood, a mask. What about math? How come I wasn't ever good at that? It's like the boy in the bubble who never could adapt. I'm trapped. If I can go back, I never would have rapped. I sold my soul to the devil, I'll never get it back. I just want to leave this game with level head intact. Imagine going from being and knowing.
Rolling Stones. Mick Jagger has told openly, over and over on television, I don't know where our Christian young people were when it was going on, that when he was in jail before the Stones was ever formed, he sold his soul to the devil. That's impossible, but he did it anyway. He sold his soul to the devil to become the leading rock group in the nation, plus get out of prison. He is the leading rock group in the nation, in the world. He has wrote songs praising the devil. And I know the devil gave it to him because the devil always thinks on himself. And in one song that Jagger wrote, he said, "It's not that I fool you who I am." Everybody knows who the devil is. It's the nature of my game that's confusing you. And this is the way it is with Satan.
Jagger's girlfriend, Marian Faithfull, said that Jagger harnessed all of the negative forces into entities: Lucifer, Jumping Jack Flash, the dark, violent group mind of the crowd chaos, Pan, terms used by Crowley for a satanic revolution in his books. She said that frenzied power caused many of the casualties of the 60s.
Jagger over and over, and that goes with rock music too. Don't try to rationalize it good or bad. It's bad. Now, I want to give you an incident that will kind of sum it up. I did meet most of them. Most of them were in the occult, but most of them were on drugs. Now, I want to say something real quick here. How many remember a group called Bloodstone, or Blood Rock, I think it was? DOA, the song DOA. They did this song while they were on acid. They got the words. I talked with a guy, he said a demon, well, he didn't call it a demon, he called it the spirit of this girl that he knew that had died in a car accident. It was a demon impersonating the girl. Appeared to him and gave him during this acid trip the notes, the words, and everything. They filed it with a copyright lawyer. The day after the copyright lawyer filed it, another group came in that was well known at that time and filed the same song, note for note, word for word. And when I was in the occult, I thought it was interesting enough to check it up because I wrote for an occult newspaper and I put the story in the paper. They got it the same way, on an acid trip, the same night, from a demon imitating a spirit of somebody they had known that had died. Most rock musicians get their music while on drugs or from spirit guides, which are demons. That's what your young people are buying and paying for. Now, I'll give you something supernatural you can file away if you don't want to receive it or take it home and get in the Word and see if it's possible. When witches write a book, they cast a spell over the book so it'll sell. And they order a demon to go into every copy that comes off the press. So when you own a book on witchcraft, you have a demon residing in your home, free of charge. The musicians who do the music that are in witchcraft do the same things to the record album. The same thing. So when you see that friendly little album spinning on your thing, ask yourself, was the musician a witch? Did he cast a spell over the album that the devil would have a pact in my home because I owned the records? There's more to it than records and books.
And people don't really realize the true significance of this music and really who is the one who's not only promoted this, but even these musicians, who's using them and speaking through them.
You have underlying influences then in this rock music.
Exactly. What we have is, and people have proven, from the 50s to the 90s, going back to Elvis in the 60s, the Beach Boys, the Rolling Stones in the 70s with Led Zeppelin, in the 80s and Michael Jackson, now Madonna, all these people, if you really look, and maybe we have a separate video just on this, they all say in their own words that they're possessed by demons, spirits, they get their music by spirits and so forth. And I want to give you a couple of quotes to prove this. Madonna, who's the most popular modern performer right now, said, this is in the Calendar magazine, LA Times, May 5th, 1991. Madonna was asked a few questions. She said, this is the question, near the end of the film, we hear one of the people on your tour say of you, she's very unhappy much of the time. True? Madonna answers, quote, I certainly wasn't happy. Question, but why? When you're out on tour, aren't you doing what you love? Answer from Madonna, quote, I'm a tormented person. I have a lot of demons inside of me. My pain is as big as my joy, end quote.
You don't think about it, it just happens. Sometimes I look back at the footage and I'll go, did I do that? Yeah. So I'm slave to the rhythm. Yeah. Okay?
Limp Bizkit frontman Fred Durst is actually miserable. Through his music and videos, he is leading the youth of the world into a world of deadly illusion. Durst admitted, "I play the pimp thing on purpose, like when I'm on MTV. These chicks are fanning and massaging me." He says, "It's not like I attracted them off the street. We blank and hired them. I want everybody to be thinking I'm having the time of my life. But in reality," he says, "I'm, quote, single and miserable."
And we have many other albums that are openly satanic. These are rock musicians. This is Prince's album, as you see on one side. If you now you turn it upside down, you get 666. I mean, the word's evil at the bottom, and that's Police's album. You get 666 when you reverse it. So it's pretty open, and much of the music is satanic forwards and openly.
Aleister Crowley. He wrote a book called Magic, and he was involved in the occult and took the name 666, the Beast. Now he says we must train one to think backwards. Let him learn to write backwards. Walk backwards. And let him constantly watch, if convenient, films or listen to records in reverse.
I said, on a voyage of no return to sea. If the time of life is meant to be, yes, the one smashed open up.
I try so hard to make it so. Oh, sneaking moves, oh, sneaking moves, oh.
Let's listen to a song in rock and roll frontwards. Now you see, the song makes no sense, but when you play it backwards, a different ball game appears.
As clear as this, that they're devils speaking right through these guys. And
Ginger Baker, formerly of Clapton's group Cream, says of Cream, quote, "It happens to us quite often. It feels as though I'm not playing my instrument. Something else is playing it, and that same thing is playing all three of our instruments. That's what I mean when I say it's frightening sometimes. Maybe we'll all play the same phrase out of nowhere. It happens very often with us." Liam Gallagher admits that he is possessed by a spirit. He has been deceived into thinking that the spirit is John Lennon. In his classic on demon possession, John Nevius writes that those without any prior musical talent might become competent singers under possession. He further states, quote, "It may be said in general of possessed persons that sometimes people who cannot sing are able when possessed to do so. Others who ordinarily cannot write verses when possessed compose and rhyme with ease." Alice Cooper has stated that he received his name Alice from a spirit he contacted at a seance. Alice Cooper has admitted the influences that this spirit has wielded upon him during performances. He has stated that the spirit, quote, partly takes over his actions and singing on stage.
That's just the way we are when we...
AC/DC also sings about selling their souls to Satan for rock and roll fame. AC/DC guitarist Angus Young has also admitted to being possessed. He points out that the spirit manifests while he's performing on stage. He says, quote, "By the time we're halfway through the first number, someone else is steering me. I'm just along for the ride. I become possessed when I get on stage." Judas Priest, who is named after the apostate apostle Judas Iscariot, who betrayed Jesus Christ, is fronted by Rob Halford, who promotes both homosexuality and Satanism. Glenn Tipton of Judas Priest says it's like someone else takes over my body. Richie Blackmore, who was the lead guitarist for two of the biggest bands in the 1970s, Deep Purple and Rainbow, has spoken candidly of his contact with the spirit world through seances. Richie Blackmore says of these seances, quote, "You can't be very tired, otherwise you'll get possession."